there, welcome to an online music lesson. Today we are going to talk about a couple simple ways to add some depth to our vocabulary of chords, I like to say. Some of these kind of chords, this was an intro to Dr. Wu, Steely Dan tune. I love play Steely Dan because it's got great thick chords, and goes just a simple chord like that sometimes. So they use a great chord vocabulary, and we're going to look at some ways of thinking about these chords. The conventional way, if you go to a fake book or a book with chords in it, would tell you find stuff like E minor, this chord I'm playing here, be like an E minor 9 and 11 and 13 with no third. And before you've written all that out or thought that all out in your head, you could have just as well written out what notes you are playing. It would just be E, D, F sharp, A. Right. It's kind of, I feel like it's an ineffective way to describe the chord. So we're going to look today at thinking about chords mainly as different triads. In this case, I've got a D major triad over different bass notes. Like here, we've got this E in the bass. We've got a D major up top, and gives us that nice rich sound. The first way that I want to look at doing chords like this, I think it's the easiest one to think about, is a 4 over a 5 chord. Say that we're in C. We've got C major, we've got F major, we've got G major. And typically the 5 chord would just be a G major. And the 1 would be here, C. This happens a lot in music, 5 to 1 chord progressions, yeah? Sounds nice, but it doesn't sound that thick. It sounds kind of boring, right? Easiest way to change this sound is, instead of playing just this 5 chord, this G major chord, we're going to play the 4 chord, in this case F major, over that G in the bass. And it already gives us some depth to that song. I like to call this the Brian Jackson. He's one of my favorite keyboard players, and he uses this kind of turn a lot. He didn't invent it, of course, but he uses it a lot. I wanted to play, here. Song for Bobby Smith. Here he's got it. He's got A flat over B flat. It's 4 over 5. He uses it a lot in this tune. This is Very Precious Time. Here we got a C over a D. We're going to get to what these other chords are later on in this lesson, so stick around. Here he uses it again. We've got an A over B. Here we've got a D, a little bit of a different version of it. D over E, C over D. These are all 4s over 5s. And here it is one more time as a turnaround chord. Domenick chord. 4 over 5. Easy way to take this boring 5-1. Kind of sounds like church. And making it a little more interesting. Good. Next thing I want to talk about, again, we'll stay in the key of C, where we've got C major, we've got F major, we've got G major. There are other chords in C, but I don't like to think about them because of this next way that I think about chords. Each of these major chords, 1, 4, and 5, has a relative minor, right? And going to use that. The relative minor from C is A. We're just going to go 3 half steps down here. And the chord up here stays the same. So we've got a C major over its relative minor. Or we could think of it as A is a relative major over that A. Yeah. At any rate, this C is staying the same, the bass note has changed. And I said the same thing works to get us to a D minor. Its relative major is F. We've got an F chord up here, D here, and E minor's relative major is G, so let's play G up here and put an E in the bass. And we've already got, a little bit more interesting sound. This is really, if you want to think about it like this, it's just a relative, a minor 7 chord. Again, for simplicity, I like to think of this as just being a C over an A. And then when you're playing in a band setting, you got a bass player. You don't play your bass at all then, and you're just sitting here on this C chord, or to get to your D minor, you got your F here. And when the bass player rounds that out, you've got this nice sound. Good. And this also makes things easy for us because then we really only have to think about 3 chords in a key signature, the 1, 4, and 5. And each of those is going to have its relative minor 1, 6, there's 4 and 2, and here's 5 and 3, 1. Good. And we'll come back to this in just a minute. There's another really good reason why I like to think of these chords as being the major over its relative minor. But first, let's talk about another interesting turn. This one's called a 5 on the 1. Right? Let's go back and C again. We got C. What is the 5 of C? Of course, it's G. Right, this is going to be our next way of voicing this major chord, is just to take that 5, so G in this case, over its 1, C. Yeah, you can already kind of hear where that's going. I love this. Again, Steely Dan, we're playing Jazzy in D minor. Sounds really full and grounded, and somehow, what is he doing here? It's easy stuff. We look at our bass, we're going C, B flat, F, E flat. And we're just going to play the 5s of all those chords in the right hand. So on C, we're going to play G. On B flat, we're going to play F. On F, we're going to play C. And on E flat, we're going to play B flat. And it gives us that really cool sound. Let's do it one more time. That comes again later on. There it is. Yeah. And again, this time I was turnaround. We were going F in the bass. It's 5, C in the right hand, and even though the song is in D minor, we're gonna go here to a G in the bass and a D major in the right hand. That gives us a really cool effect. So 5s over 1s. Okay, well let's go back and look, because now we talked about the minor 7 chord as a major triad over its relative minor. And we've talked about turning this 1 chord, in this case C, and playing its 5, in this case G, over top of it. And now we're going to put those together. Let's take an A minor, and then A, 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 and then A put its relative major over top of it. But now we are going to turn this chord and play its 5. And it gives also a nice, full, open sound. It doesn't, this kind of forces our ear to hear something, and this is leaving a little bit more openness somehow, even more than this, because when our ear hears this, it thinks minor. We recognize that, and when we get rid of that, we essentially still have an A minor chord, but it's much less defined. Let's go. I like this song, another song from Steely Dan, here at the Western World. I'm sure we could talk about it some other time. Here we go. There's some really nice fat chords happening here, and it might just sound like I'm playing random notes in there. But it's really all, we've already been there. Look, we've got a C sharp minor. What we're going to do is play its relative major on top of it. In this case, an E major. I'll let it play it in a different position here. G sharp, B, and E. And then we're going to play, in addition to all of that, the 5 of E major, which we've got a B major chord, and then all together gives us a nice full chord. Love it. And this is the exact same chord in a different place. So we've got a B minor, so let's put its relative major over top of it, and then the 5, so that's a D over a B, and the 5 of D is an A. We're going to play that major chord is in there as well. Here's your A, here's your D, on all that over top of B. And we talked about this chord already. It's a G chord, and we're going to play the 5 of G over top of it, D major. And then this is the same minor that we've been working with. We get a sharp minor, so let's play an A major. Major, and the 5 of A is E. This is also some thinking. What I would recommend to you is you kind of work with these voicing, think them out, and feel them, how they feel under your fingers, and then practice them practice them in, so you get to know how this feels, how it sounds.